Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Idika Nobot. This is Ajakuta News. So today on Ajakuta News, we want to touch on a very important topic to many of you guys who have been following us so far. A lot of you have asked me to make a video on Ajakuta Steel Company, and today I am doing just that. So I want to bring updates on Ajakuta and you know also explain certain things that have made it delayed this long, and to show the government effort, passionate effort in getting us to where we are right now in Nigeria, fully owning Ajakuta Steel. Now, I just want to say something before I continue. You know, we make statements at times out of emotions, and it really annoys me. It annoys me when people who, as in our fathers, those people who are working, say these same things, and they make it look as though things happen with the flick of a finger. Things don't happen like that too. This world is far more complex than we know or that we think. I don't like it when people who are in the working class make certain statements. Before I sound too disrespectful, but I mean what I'm saying. It takes a whole lot to get a company running. A government cannot just come in and with a flick of a finger change things. This world is very legalized. And mind you, there are powers that be in this world that can hold your country at ransom and make sure you guys struggle. Okay, so when you're even entering deals with some big countries like US, like China, like the UK, and some other bigger names, France, Germany, and what have you, you have to understand that when things go south, your country can suffer and can be dragged in the mud for a long time. Such is the case with Ajakuta Steel. Ajakuta Steel is a company that has been at the very core of Nigeria. Many Nigerians have held this company in high esteem and has been at the center of our heart. In fact, I grew up hearing so much negativity about Ajakuta Steel. I grew up hearing so much despair and hopelessness as regards the state of Ajakuta Steel. A lot of complaints were made, and I'm not in any way discrediting those things because I didn't even know what was going on. All I knew that was, oh, Ajakuta Steel has failed. It has failed. It has failed. Oh, this, that, that, that. I think in 2005 it was privatized, and then at some point we lost track of what was even going on there. But today I want to talk about it and try to give a very unbiased perspective as to what really happened. But this is a good news channel, oh, to remind us, okay? Forget I'm starting like this. There's a lot of positives that we're going to end with, as touching Ajakuta Steel. But let's get right into today's video. All right, as we speak currently, 3 Russian companies and 8 others are currently bidding for Ajakuta Steel plant. This is according to the minister. So the Minister of Mines and Steel gave us this update regarding Ajakuta Steel. So I got Ajakuta Steel Company. You know, thank God for having to shoot videos like this. It has forced me to know the exact location of certain places in the country. Okay, so I wouldn't even believe Ajakuta will be located in Kogi. You know, and growing up, I didn't even know if I even agreed that Kogi was even a northern state. I always felt Kogi was more of a western state, but thank God for sense, sha. So Ajakuta still is located in Kogi state and was built by the Soviets. So if you know a little about history, although we may call Soviet Russian, but Soviet Union was more like an empire. It was what you think of the British Empire. So the British Empire comprised of nations like England, primarily Wales, Ireland, some other nations, some other maybe Denmark. Um, oof, I don't know all the countries that shall makes up Britain or the Great Britain. So Great Britain is not UK, it's not the United Kingdom. Okay, it is a mix of many countries to form the whole British Empire. Same thing with the Soviets. So the Soviets were primarily comprised of the Russians, and Ukraine was equally part of the Soviet Union, and they had their tentacles spread across certain parts. They were, a big union. Not just a country. It was like an empire, a monarchy, something of that nature. So the Soviets were involved in building Ajakuta Steel, and this was done between 1979 and the mid 90s. Okay, between 1979 and the mid 90s, Ajakuta Steel was built, but reports and rumors have that it never produced steel. I don't know how. I don't even know how to believe that. I don't know how, but rumors have it that it never produced steel, and there was there were so many mismanagement issues piling up that stifled the growth of Ajakuta Steel. So there were many attempts to privatize it, being that the government was overburdened with trying to run the affairs of the nation and still manage product producing firms, and government shouldn't even do that. The government should not be in charge of production ever. In no developed country do you see government running production. It doesn't happen. It should not. It should stop happening. Government should run oversight, should provide oversight and collect money and tax these companies. Private sector should be the one doing most of this job. Okay. Now, at some point, it was being privatized, given to Global Steel, which is an Indian firm, and the then president Umaru Musa Yar'Adua did not like the way things were being done at Ajakuta Steel, so he terminated the contract, and so the guys took Nigeria to court, and this was delayed for 12 years. This is what made me say that we should watch the way we speak. This world is very legalistic. Oh. The Nigerian government, see, no matter how passionate the president is about Ajakuta and Ajakuta Steel, if matters are not settled in the international court, there's nothing we can do. There is nothing we can do. So we should speak. I don't know. We should speak from a place of exposure. I think if that's the right word to use. Prior to this year, I didn't even know that Ajakuta Steel matter was in court. I was equally bitter, feeling that the governments that have preceded other governments have just been lax and reluctant about Nigeria. But there's a lot that meets the eye regarding Ajakuta Steel. Nigeria was in court, and until the court settles, this international court, they cannot do anything regarding this. So in September of this year, September 2022, the Nigerian government agreed to pay a sum of $496 million plus. This is big money. Oh. Forget that you are hearing that figure. This is billions of naira. This is billions of naira. Whenever I hear the government spend this amount of money, I usually like to pause my audience to make you understand what's going on. If you've been following my previous videos, I made a video about the amount of money the government has paid paid pensioners, the amount of money the Nigerian government has paid old contractors. Nigerian government spent about 5 trillion naira clearing debt in old contractors. The amount of money it has gone for repatriation of the of foreign airlines. The money owed to big bodies, Paris. Oh my God, Paris Club refund, and money owed to what organization again? I think World Health Organization. Money, this government has cleared debts that to the tune of 7 trillion naira debt. Money owed federal government staff that have retired for years. Even Biafran soldiers are being enrolled on pension right now by this government. We will now see how much to come and pay for Dakota Steel. The financial burden on this government is so huge. No government preceding it can even comprehend it. No government. But yet it is silently footing all these bills, silently, with all the criticism of the masses. It is silently footing these bills and clearing all these legal issues, paving the way for industrialization. Oh, God will bless. God will surely bless this government and bless our president. For those of you who don't like what I'm saying, it's because you don't know what I know. Please, I equally hated Buhari like you, probably even more than you. Okay? I speak today because of what I know, not because of any political affiliation or any personal relationship with anyone in government. I know no one in government personally, no one like this. I'm not interested in knowing. Okay, but the information I know has made me, think and act the way I do. Now back to the story. I don't know. I'm feeling quite emotional. Okay, so like I said, there has been a dispute, with um regarding Ajakuta Steel between Global Steel and the Nigerian government since 2008 that has lingered up until now. So it was taken to court, and the Nigerian government were being asked to pay about $7 billion. These guys had a mind to charge us $7 billion for damages and for the way the contract was terminated. But thank God, and everyone is thanking. I don't know, the name of this patriotic Nigerian has not been mentioned, but news has it that there's a Nigerian lawyer who was saddled with this tax, and he fought tooth and nail and found many books and holes in the case that Global Steel brought, which is and the Indian company, and then reduced the money to $496 million, which they agreed and the court agreed, and the Nigerian government has paid $496 million. This is why I've gone through all this story, to help you understand that 1 plus 1 sometimes is not equal to 2. Things are not as easy as they seem. So Ajakuta has been in court since. So when President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019 said that before his government leaves office, Ajakuta State will be functioning, he meant it. And he tried his best to ensure that this case will be won. And it was won. And being that the Russians were the ones who built Ajakuta Steel, the easy thing for us to do was to go back to them and to tell them, you guys built this stuff. Okay, come and operate it. There are other companies in Nigeria being run by Russians. One of it, where I'm staying right now to make this video, okay, is a Russian facility. Okay, I am in an Alscon property. So Alscon stands for Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria. It is a property a company built by Babangida somewhere in Akwa Ibom State, Ikot local government. Okay, they basically produce aluminium. Right now, the company is not working as it should because of legal matters. Legal matters has kept Alscon this long in the mud. They concluded legal matters early this year, I think, early 2022. They completed their whole legal matter, and Alscon won, but it takes a lot of time to even restart. As we speak right now, they have not been able to restart. It takes a lot to restart. This is a big complex. You can't restart with a snap of a finger. And I feel that people who are working should know this so that it informs the way they speak about certain matters. But before legal matters caught up with the Russians running this company, they were doing so well. They were doing so well. Any honest person working here would tell that they were doing well until BFID suit took them to court and they had to pause production. And right now they are seeing how to restart. Now back to Ajakuta Steel. So it is because of this court case that everything was delayed. Even after the court case was won, there was still the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic, which delayed work in Ajakuta. Basically, the whole world was locked down for 1 year, approximately 1 day because of COVID-19. So a lot could not be done. So 20 COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 lingered, stretched into part of 2021, and then many processes. So we went back to the Russians and we soliciting that the Russians should come and start this and start that, and the Russians were not acting as fast as we wanted them to. So the Nigerian government said, "Why put us in a box?" We had to expand our net to other interested partners to come and bid for Ajakuta Steel. So as we speak right now, 11 companies have, are bidding for Ajakuta Steel, of which 3 of them are Russians and 8 others. I strongly feel that we are leaning toward the Russians to take over this company, being that they're the ones that built it. So it would be easier for them to run something that they are used to. Any model, the model that is being found in Ajakuta is a model that they are used to over there in Russia. So it would be easy for them to come down here and feel at home, being that the things they're going to see around them are the things they built themselves. so they can navigate their way around it and operate it the way they see fit. So talks were being made between President Vladimir Putin and President Muhammadu Buhari, regarding Ajakuta Steel. But like I said, there were some delays that made Nigeria to throw the net open to other companies. Now the president has clearly and emphatically said that before he leaves office, Ajakuta Steel will be privatized to companies that will make this company work again. Why have I been speaking the way I'm speaking? Even when Ajakuta Steel is then privatized, it would take a while. Meaning, I think minimum of maybe 1 year, 6 months. That place is covered in grass. It would take a lot. In fact, many of those structures that have been put, many of those machines will be scrapped, broken down, and probably recycled to sold to iron ore companies to be mined into whatever, because they are no longer in use. To take a cue from what's happening right there in Alscon, Alscon is about to start, and they are already trying to sell off a lot of the old structures built in the 1990s by Babangida, because if they run with those same instruments, it will affect their profit margin. See, they will have to scrap out a lot of things, sell them off, buy the latest technology needed to do aluminum production. Same with the Dakota Steel. Whoever is coming in will need to come and make a very serious audit of the whole company, break down a lot of instruments, sell them off, buy new instrument that that will be able to just basic new instrument that my god, what are failing me. I believe we understand what I'm trying to say. Get an implement that will service the sector in a way that will meet the current trends and the current. You just buy modern implements, buy new implements, modern ones that will help do work effectively in the company. How much would they spend to buy this implement? A lot. It takes a lot to start a company of this size. These are megalithic structures. It takes years. In all these years, you'll be paying your workers so monthly salary like this, serious money. You pay all the contractors involved in setting up and dismantling things. You spend a lot of money. And with the way these things work, when a company bids for another company, after winning the bid, you take your money and you go to that company and you start. You will scatter everything, pay workers, pay contractors, do everything, scatter, dismantle, and set up with your money. After paying bid with your own money, which is why at the end of the day you will be entitled to almost all the money for a long time that you'll be making. If you may entitled to all the money you make for the next 5 6 years, so that you can make back what was spent. So there's a lot. But the good news is that right now Ajakuta belongs to Nigeria. It has not belonged to us for 12 years. It belonged to the international court. It was in the court. So right now it's fully ours, and we are very hopeful and we are believing in our president that what he has said is going to do. So I know this may not really sound like a typical video I usually make, because this is very important to me. Okay, it's a very important project to me, and I'm hopeful to see its resurrection. And when that happens, it will definitely be covered by us. So this is the end of the Ajakuta gist. Hi, this will feel like gist too, not like news. Anyways, it's what it is. This is the end of this video. I hope you like what you said. If there are some things I missed, or if there's extra gist you can give me, more details. If you're in Kogi State, where Ajakuta is, and you have more inside information you want to share, I'm open. But till we see again, remain blessed.